Most men think attention builds attraction. It doesn't. What builds attraction is absence, silence, restraint. The man who knows when to step back becomes unforgettable, because she can only crave what she can't predict. When you pull your energy away, she starts to feel the void. That's when curiosity turns into obsession. That's when emotional tension begins. Number 1. Stop responding, start resonating. Attraction does not grow from constant replies or instant attention. It grows from space, from the tension created when your presence is not always available. When you react to everything she says, you teach her that your attention has no value. The more you chase validation, the less she respects your time. Women are drawn to men who stay grounded, not men who react. Psychology calls this the scarcity effect. What is rare feels more valuable. The same applies to your attention. When you make yourself constantly available, she feels no anticipation, no curiosity. Your predictability becomes noise. But when you respond with control and calm, she feels the difference. You shift from being an option to being an experience. Stoicism teaches that discipline over impulse creates power. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When you control your reactions, you control how others perceive your value. You stop being driven by emotion and start acting from principle. Silence becomes a statement. Calm becomes presence. In modern dating, men often mistake responsiveness for connection. They text back instantly, thinking it shows care. It does not. It shows need. Real connection forms when your words have weight, when your presence feels earned. Women feel most drawn when they sense balance, attention given, then withdrawn. Space creates emotional gravity. You do not need to play games or ignore her. You only need to act with intention. Speak when you mean it. Reply when it adds value. Detach from the urge to prove yourself. Every time you resist impulsive reaction, you build internal strength. She starts to feel your silence not as rejection, but as mystery. Control presence, not people. Make her feel your energy without chasing. Attraction lives in uncertainty, not in routine. When you become calm, consistent, and selective with your attention, she begins to crave it. That craving is not about you disappearing. It is about you becoming a man of depth. She stops chasing answers when you stop explaining yourself. Number 2, let your silence speak. Silence communicates more than words ever can. Weak men feel the need to explain themselves. Strong men allow silence to carry their weight. When you stop justifying your decisions, you remove the need for external validation. You stop proving your value. This forces her to confront her own thoughts. She begins to analyze your tone, replay conversations, and wonder what you are thinking. Most men fear silence because they mistake it for rejection. Psychology shows that the human mind struggles with ambiguity. When information is missing, the brain fills the gaps. She will invest mentally and emotionally when you remain quiet. Silence creates contrast. It demonstrates restraint, and restraint conveys control. The Stoics valued silence for its power over the mind. Epictetus said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." By holding your tongue, you control your emotions. You maintain your authority over the situation. Silence is not emptiness. It is discipline applied to social interaction. Practical application is simple. Choose when to speak. Pause before responding. Resist the urge to defend your actions. Let her thoughts meet your quiet. Observe her reactions without interference. Over time, this builds natural respect and attraction. The man who masters silence becomes unshakable. His presence commands attention without effort. He does not chase, explain, or convince. He embodies control. In modern dating, this is a decisive advantage. Silence is not absence. It is influence applied deliberately. Number 3, shatter predictability, spark curiosity. Most men repeat the same predictable behaviors. Compliments, texts, constant attention. She has seen it all. Her response is automatic. She forgets them because they offer nothing new. This happens because women unconsciously test for self-respect and presence. Repetition signals neediness. Predictability kills intrigue. Your power comes from restraint. Stoicism teaches discipline over impulse. Control your desire to perform for approval. Detach from the need for her validation. Speak only when your words matter. Act with purpose, not habit. Texts like "good morning" or endless small talk signal dependency. Slow pacing shows confidence. The man who holds back forces reflection. She notices the one who makes her pause, not the one who floods attention. Psychology confirms scarcity enhances perceived value. The rare presence becomes memorable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Apply this. Make your interactions intentional. Limit messages. Prioritize quality over quantity. Focus on actions that align with your standards. Avoid chasing response or approval. Your calm self-restraint sets the standard for how she engages. She cannot outgrow a man whose behavior cannot be predicted. Your absence becomes meaningful, your presence commanding. Practice this consistently and watch attraction emerge naturally. This is the Stoic approach to presence, influence, and self-respect in modern dating. Number 4. Stop comforting, start igniting desire. Stop trying to make her feel safe. Comfort lowers attraction. Women respond to presence, not predictability. When you give constant reassurance, you remove emotional contrast. She feels secure, but not alive. Psychology shows that emotional contrast triggers interest. A woman remembers experiences that stir her, not predictability. In dating, men who remain calm under testing situations draw more attention than those who appease. Stoic principles explain this clearly. Discipline over emotion allows you to stay steady. Detachment prevents you from reacting to her every mood. Rational control lets you maintain warmth without weakness. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Apply this by observing your responses. Pause before reacting. Maintain your standards without compromise. Speak with calm authority. Hold your energy steady even when she challenges you. Presence matters more than approval. Safety can be given too easily. Energy must be demonstrated through action and consistency. When your mood does not depend on her behavior, respect naturally follows. Desire grows from respect, not comfort. A woman does not remember the man who softened for her. She remembers the man whose calm strength made her feel something intense and undeniable. Focus on contrast. Be firm yet warm, silent yet expressive, strong without aggression. This is the Stoic approach to presence. It creates emotional resonance and lasting attraction. Number 5. Walk away with power on your value. Being willing to walk defines the value you place on yourself. Boundaries are meaningless if you cannot enforce them. Women detect hesitation. When you refuse to leave, your presence loses weight. They test without words. Your reaction determines their respect. Walking away is not manipulation. It is discipline in action. It shows detachment, control, and self-respect. Psychology confirms that scarcity increases perceived value. A man who fears losing her signals dependency. A man who prioritizes his peace signals stability. Stability creates attraction, neediness destroys it. Stoicism reinforces this. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Your reaction defines your internal authority. Letting go when necessary aligns with reason and emotional control. It communicates that your standards have weight. Your peace is non-negotiable. Practical action matters. If she crosses your boundaries, leave without argument. Silence carries more authority than confrontation. Do not overcompensate with attention or gifts. Your presence must be scarce, deliberate, and self-contained. Impact comes from discipline, not compliance. Remember, women do not remember the man who gave everything. They remember the man who could walk away. Your value increases when you act from principles rather than desire for approval. Every interaction becomes a measure of your standards, your control, and your independence. Mastery begins with your willingness to detach. Own your peace, and you own every room you enter or leave. Control is the core of attraction. You don't earn it with tricks or games. You earn it by mastering yourself. Women sense when a man relies on their approval. They sense neediness. It diminishes presence. The most magnetic men remain calm, silent, and grounded. They do not chase fleeting emotions. They generate respect through discipline and consistency. They do not depend on her love to feel complete. Their power comes from their own stability. When you let your silence carry weight, your presence naturally commands attention. Detachment creates space for curiosity. She notices the change without explanation. Your restraint becomes magnetic. Psychology confirms that people are drawn to those who exhibit emotional stability and self-control. Unpredictable behavior sparks short-term interest, but calm consistency builds lasting fascination. Stoicism teaches this principle clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Apply this today. Stop performing to impress. Speak less, act with purpose, and maintain your boundaries. Control yourself first. The rest follows. Subscribe to Stoic 95. Focus on steady presence, rational thought, and emotional regulation. These qualities are not flashy, but they are remembered. You win influence, respect, and attraction not by doing more, but by being less. This is the Stoic path to authority in relationships and clarity in life.